You know, I watch CNN, and there's Mr. White Lash himself, Van Jones, interviewing Michael Moore. Is that any indication why CNN has very few viewers on any given night now?
Well, I think it's fair to say that they started on the left and then went to the left.
Yeah.
And that, they're now so far out to the left that actually they may make an intersection with Mars or Venus at some point in the next year or two. I mean, it's, you have to relax and accept, you've heard me talk before about Nassim Taleb's great essay on intellectual yet idiot. And I think that, you're seeing a lot of people who are pseudo-intellectuals who, went to a good school and learned nothing, and then get on TV and prove that they've learned nothing. And you would think that the left, I saw Nancy Pelosi say, oh, we really don't have to change. Well,
No.
let me see. You've lost thousands of state legislators, you've lost governors, you've lost the Senate, you've lost the House, you just lost the presidency. Do you think there might be a signal that your customers aren't happy?
Yeah.
And she didn't think so. It didn't penetrate.
That shows how really in touch she is, and she deserves that position once again to continue losing. So Harvard did a study, and this professor, his name is Thomas E. Patterson, and he pointed out that during Trump's best weeks, the media coverage was 2-to-1 negative over positive. But then he also pointed out on his worst weeks, the ratio was 10-to-1 negative coverage over positive. And then he pointed out that overall, in the general election, 77% of Donald Trump's coverage was negative. I said in 2008, journalism's dead. Is that enough evidence to prove I was right?
Look, and if you add to that the degree to which they overwhelmingly, I think 96% of those donating in the news business donated to Hillary Clinton, you just go down the list. I've thought some about trying to start using the term propaganda media to replace news media, because I think they have so totally devalued their brand that we're a lot better off to not be surprised. They're not news anymore. They're propagandists. I just got a thing which I still find hard to believe, that one of the newspapers actually published an old picture of demonstrations in Baltimore, claiming it was occurring in Charleston, South Carolina, and the picture was Baltimore. It wasn't even Charleston. But that they'd already decided they wanted to run this story, so they just picked the picture that fit the story, even though it was totally falsehood.
So when they talk about fake news, they're really talking about themselves.
I know. That's what I have to tell you, because you've been on this and you've been right. The idea of the New York Times being worried about fake news is really weird. I mean, this is, the New York Times is fake news, and it doesn't change because all those copy editors are there who have been there for 20 years. They are as far to the left as they can get without teaching at Harvard, and it's unbelievable how far to the left the New York Times has gone.
Unbelievable. Mr. Speaker, you've been great. The first 100 days are going to be amazing, and I know you're going to be on with us regularly. We look forward to having you as often as possible.
It'll be very exciting.